Hello and welcome back. Calm Power Program. Life is a journey. It's a tough journey. It's a difficult journey, but you can do it. You can make this into a wonderful, fantastic journey. Yes, we have problems and burdens and issues and difficulties and insurmountable, challenges that come up day to day, week to week. Just when it's smooth sailing and we think things are going good, something else gets piled on our plate. Life is a journey. And so much of what we feel inside makes us want to run from our problems, erase our problems, take a pill, take a drink, eat food so that we just forget about our problems and bye-bye, they go away, forget about it, and we're somehow living in a stress-free, totally happy world. Well, that's not necessarily what life is about. Life is a challenge. It's a journey. It's a challenge about growing, about learning, about evolving spiritually, emotionally, socially, in terms of who we are, what we can do. It's about making a contribution to other people. It's about living the life that we deserve and coming to feel great about ourselves and good about the things that we can do and accomplish and see and experience in this life. And that takes embracing our problems, embracing our issues, so that we can really make the most of things. Because this is a miracle. Being alive is just great. It's amazing. And even our deepest pain is still part of that beauty of life, that experience of life, that life journey that we're all on. And the third soul power skill is doing great charting. Now, doing great charting is a fantastic approach to help couples to overcome the problems and the issues and the difficulties that get between them. Doing great charting takes the 50 to 5,000 things that irritate a person about their loved one or is irritating about them to their loved one, and it reduces it. Because right now, our loved one would like us to, really improve 1,000 things about ourselves. But that's a little bit hard and it's a little bit demotivating. And as I said before, very often people try to get the other person to improve by using the stick, the whip, the prod, the shocker, and try to criticize or nag or complain or in some way maybe even insult the other person to get their way. Positive works much better. People are motivated from the positive to do things. Change is really difficult. And so if a person's in the habit of isolating, of being off, of not being talkative, or a person's in the habit of raising their voice and getting hot under the cover, typical couples dynamic. One person runs and hides and distances, and the other person pursues and insists and gets emotional and intense. So very often, one person will demand that we have to talk this out and we have to deal with this, and the other person will say, well, not now, later, some other time, and go into their own universe. But one way or another, the things to talk out can be overwhelming for a couple, can really be too much. And so Dr. Goddard's Doing Great chart really changes the nature of the game that a couple plays with each other, from we've got to solve all these problems that keep coming up and get between us that are so impossible and so much and overwhelming, to all we have to do is work on two things, the two most important things that are causing difficulties. When I do couples therapy, one of the first things I do is have each person identify what's the two most important things you would like your lover, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner to change. Oh, well, to go from 50 to 5,000 things to all of a sudden two things makes it all that much more possible to work out. Because right now, couples are often playing a game that they can't win. In order to love each other, in order to make this right, we've got to correct the 50 to 5,000 things that get between us, that irritate us about each other. Well, we can change the nature of the game that a couple is playing. When couples come to me for couples therapy, one of the first things I do is to help them to understand, hey, forget about the 10,000 things. Let's focus on the two most important things each of you wants the other person to improve. That makes it workable. Now they're playing a game that they can win and they will win. And basically, we have a chart that you'll find in the handout, which basically on the left-hand column lists the two possible things that a person might want the other person to get better at, to change. And then we've got the days of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the scoring is very simple. It's just a 1 or a 0. Put the chart in the refrigerator, in the bathroom, the bedroom, wherever it's most convenient where people are going to see it, and everybody gets a score once a day. And the scoring is 1 for, oh, you showed improvement, you really made an effort, you did fantastic, or at least you tried. You made an effort and you did better than you did yesterday in terms of this issue that's been really bugging me. Or 0, no effort, no improvement. And this way, everybody can see who is working on this. But when we focus on the two most important things that are critically important, that two people, each person most importantly wants the other to change, that is a delight, because then the other things will fall into place. Or we can get to that after these two things are settled. But these two most irritating, annoying, upsetting, damaging, hurtful, wounding things that are keeping people, having trouble with each other, now they can be solved. Now we can find a compromise. People can make an effort to be able to improve it. No one's waiting for the other person to change because each person is working on the two most important things. When I do family therapy or child therapy, put the whole family on doing great charts, or child therapy, certainly to put a child on doing great chart. Because so much of the time, a parent may be criticizing the child on the child's case, and the child feels there's 50 to 5,000 things I've got to do right, and they just give up. They get overwhelmed. But the doing great chart helps a child to realize, hey, I can focus on just two most important things, and I can do this. This is a game I can win. So likewise with a couple, or the whole family, or whoever it is, when people just focus on the two most important things they need to improve, well, it's doable. They can find a way. It's transformative with a couple. Try it. Try it with your loved one. Take the chart, print it out from the materials, and you'll find that this will help to erase and heal many of the problems that get between you and your loved one. Doing great charts, they're fantastic. They help. They work. The next most important skill of the 4 critical skills for soulmate power, even though soulmate power, more than all the other skills, more than all the other areas, have a lot of skills, almost 30 different skills, a lot of bonus skills, because there's a lot of work to be done with couples. There's a lot of ways in which couples really need to be able to be more sensitive to each other, support each other better, be more emotionally available to one another, be a team again. So in the bonus skills, we'll get to some of the extra skills that are very, very critical, very, very important. But for right now, the 4th most important skill is warmth power. Warmth power sounds warm, sounds good. Warmth power comes out of the work of Gary Chapman, who wrote a fantastic, terrific book. If you are in a relationship, which you probably are, or looking for a relationship, go buy the book, The 5 Languages of Love. It's really helpful. It's really transformative. His perspective is wonderful. And what he says is that couples speak different languages. Each person talks a different language. They run on different fuel. There are 5 key fuels that he identifies that people run on. And this is how we get our love. These are the languages of love. And if one person is giving, caring for, loving the other person, supporting the other person, but they're supporting them in a way that is not speaking their language, is not giving them the fuel that they need, then it's no use. It's not getting anywhere. It's not going anywhere. We need to be able to understand what is the language, what is the fuel that our lover runs on. The 5 languages of love. Now I have added a 6th area, a 6th fuel, a 6th language that needs to be taken care of, because I see it all the time in my couples work. We will get to that. But first, to explain, the 5 languages of love involve a viewpoint that basically we all run on gasoline, and this gasoline is love and feeling support. We need love, we need support, we need comfort, we need somebody to be on our side and helping us and being there for us just like we need the air to breathe, just like we need food to eat, just like we need water to drink. And sometimes, though, we don't get exactly the love that we need. We're not getting the fuel that we need. In which case, we get very cranky. Because if we're not getting the food that we need, the love that we cherish, that we must have in order to drive the engine that's going to run our show day after day, the car's going to break down. You see, according to Gary Chapman, we all have a love tank inside. And it's a little bit like our tank for gasoline in the car. And if we run out of gas, the car breaks down, it doesn't go, it doesn't work, the whole show is over. Now, I only ran out of gas one time in my life when I was an adolescent. And I loved driving so much, and I guess I forgot to check the gas tank. And so at some point, I ran out of gas, and I was stuck on the side of the road, the side of the expressway. And I learned to always check the gas tank and make sure that my gas tank in the car was always full. But sometimes our love tank, our gas tank inside, is not always full. In fact, many people, according to Gary Chapman, have a love tank inside that may be cracked, may have a leak in it. So no matter how much love you're pouring into that tank, it's not staying in the tank. It's falling out, and the person is running on empty. And when our tank is not filled, as I said, people get cranky, people get ornery, people get into bad moods. People really don't feel very good about other people, about themselves, about life. So we need to keep our gas tank filled, and we need to fill the gas tank of our lover, of our partner, of our romantic soulmate. Now, part of the problem is that sometimes the gas tank can be cracked in one's childhood. If we were really hurt, if we didn't get the love that we needed, our gas tank got so rusty that it developed a leak, a crack, and no matter how much love someone pours in, it's very hard to feel that love and use that love as fuel. That would mean that we have to get to work at repairing that gas tank that's been broken since childhood. But sometimes our lover can help us to repair it. But in order to pour the right gasoline, assuming our gas tank is going to be able to receive the gas it needs, the fuel it needs, we need to be able to get the love we need. And according to Gary Chapman, there are 5 key languages of love. Now, in my normally mnemonic sort of way, I break these down into warmth power. And that stands for, we start off with love power, with love fuel, love language, number 1, which is warmth, W, standing for words of affirmation. Some of us feel loved when other people or our loved one is telling us, wow, you're so wonderful, you're such a good person, you have such a big heart, you're so good with the kids, you're so caring, you're so intelligent, you're so bright. And some people really thrive on words of affirmation. Very, very important, because people need to be told that they're good at things. The second language of love, A, stands for acts of service. Now that's a big one, acts of service. Some people really need other people to help them with the practical things of life. They feel love when someone else is really helping them to get through life and deal with the difficulties of all the things that have to be taken care of. And so if somebody wants help taking out the garbage, doing the laundry, doing their chores, going shopping, they feel really loved and really comforted by somebody who cares enough about them that they're doing it, that they're helping them with these things. Now, you may know, I don't quite remember the name of this movie I once saw many years ago, but it kind of, really drove the nail home concerning this issue. And what it was a movie that kind of made fun of the idea of going to a peep show, a little sex act, and that a number of these women were addicted to going to a peep show where they really got kind of turned on and really enjoyed what they were watching. The curtains drew back, and what it was all about is that when the women would go in to the rooms to see the peep show and the curtain draws back, there were husbands who were ironing, doing the laundry, taking care of the dishes, washing the dishes, cleaning the house. And they were like, wow, oh my God, this is so great, this is so wonderful. These people were just overjoyed with excitement and just reaching bliss, considering that for them in this movie it was kind of making fun of this issue, that for some people doing things for others is really the way they feel love. Try it sometime. Of course, you have to find out which gasoline, which love language your lover, your wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend runs on. W-A-R. R stands for receiving gifts. R stands for receiving gifts. Some people just love it when they're thought of when somebody else gives them something. Little things, big things, diamond rings, roses, cards, that they're thought about, that they're given gifts that really show that the other person really has them in their mind, knows their interests, knows what they like. Make a list. If this is a love language of the person you're with, do a little interview, make a list, find out what are the things that they really love, what's their favorite food, what's their favorite color shirts to wear, what's their favorite places to go, to be able to give them gifts for things that will really be special to them and really be meaningful to them. W-A-R-M. M stands for making quality time. Oh boy, another big one. Some people bring me roses, bring me flowers, bring me gifts, tell me I'm a great person. It's all meaningless unless you want to spend quality time with me together. Yeah, maybe sitting on the couch and watching TV is quality time for some people, and that's being together, and that's experiencing a movie, a TV show, talking about the news together. Maybe for other people it's like distant and removed. It depends on one's definition of quality time, but certainly quality time has to do with being listened to, talking, sharing, discussing what happened during the day, discussing feelings, opinions, ideas, what's going on in the world, what's going on with our children, what's going on with our friends, being together, making time together, taking a walk together, going to the beach, going on vacation perhaps. But quality time is more day to day. Our people in our busy, busy world, when we're all running around like chickens without heads, with all the work we have to do and all the responsibilities and the chores and the errands that we have to take care of, are we making the time to be with the person we love in a way that really connects with them? And sometimes families keep TV on during dinner. Well, that's a good time to have quality time, to talk about things, turning off the TV then. But again, it all depends upon what is the definition of quality time to the person you love. But for so many people, spending time together is just delightful, and it just fills their tank with feeling loved and cared for and getting love and enjoying the other person. W-A-R-M-T. T. Touch. Touch, affection, sex, love, connection, physical contact, being together, snuggling, enjoying each other's company, pillowing, whatever it may be. Touch for some people is really the way that people show it and get love and feel loved. And finally, W-A-R-M-T-H. H stands for, and this is one that I added, halt the negativity. Halt the negativity. Some people's gas tanks, their language of love, it's like pouring gasoline or lighting a match on the fuel. If negativity is there, it doesn't matter. I have found in all the work, all the years that I've been working with couples and helping couples, I have found if there is negativity that's there and persists, it often doesn't matter what language you're speaking, which of those other 5 languages you're talking about. The other person won't be able to receive the love because they don't feel loved, they don't even want the love because they feel as though the other person is not respecting them, not caring for them, being negative toward them. Halt the negativity. Key language of love that some people really need in order as a prerequisite, as a ticket of admission to being able to have their gas tank filled with all kinds of other feelings of love by making sure that somebody is not negating them, hurting them, in some way ignoring them, taking them for granted. Halt the negativity. And that goes back to nonstop love and support, doing great charts, all the other ways that we can show our love for another person. So the 5 languages of love and warmth power gives us tremendous, tremendous tool to be able to rekindle and fuel and invigorate the love between ourselves and the person that we love. Very, very critical, very, very important to understand. And it's a little bit difficult at first, because if you start to talk to people about the 5 languages of love, the warmth that they need, well, everyone needs all of it. The whole list is very important. So it takes a little bit teasing out, well, what's most important? If you have to prioritize what's most important, and when you start to really push it, some people really find that, well, this one or that one or the other one aren't so important. But boy, when this happens, I love it. Now, some people speak a foreign language, so maybe the 5, 6 languages of love do not quite get what you need or what your lover needs. So you might want to ask them, find out. Maybe there's a different language that they speak and they have that's really important. So these 4 key skills are the 4 key soulmate power skills. And as I said, this area is so important and so filled with promise and possibility and wonderful things that we can do to help our relationship that there's a lot of bonus skills. So take a look at the bonus skills, and we can come back to them and talk to them about them at some point further, because they are like gold. Because our relationships are so important for the quality of life. We all know that, if people are together for a long time and they've spent a lifetime together and one person dies, very often the other person, their longevity is not too great after that because they're so connected. Relationships give us fuel, give us health and power and longevity. And they get us through being together with people. Now, as we said, sometimes relationships need to change. And that's fine too, because then we go on and we move on to the next person. This is part of the world that we live in. But whoever we're with, we need to make sure that that relationship is a team, that each person feels supported, is being supported, is feeling loved, and that connection is really great. Because heaven knows, life is tough. As we keep saying, this journey of life is really hard. And we need a partner, we need a soulmate, somebody we connect with on the same wavelength that we can talk to and share our feelings, our thoughts with. Get help with all the things that burden us day after day. We need this. But so many relationships end up in bad patterns, in vicious cycles, with some negativity going on between the people. But it's very possible to heal and grow as a couple. And once again, in a certain way, we find people that really are right for the journey that we need to have, that really are right to help us heal from the wounds that we received in childhood, that really are correct for giving us the feedback that we need to be able to advance our spirituality, our development of our personality, our ability to contribute to other people in society. Because if you want to know what your shadow side is, what your negative side is, what difficulties or shortcomings you have, you can ask your lover about that. And if they're honest and upfront and you don't want to get into too much of a fight or anything, that would be very helpful to know, I got to work on these things. And sometimes all those one's shortcomings come up in the middle of a fight and people are arguing and then they don't hear one another. They can't hear one another because it's in the middle of a heated debate and everyone has to defend themselves and protect themselves. So if we can have a conversation whereby we can find out what the other person most needs, what most wants, but also what we need to do to get better, to be better as a person, to be better as a caring partner with the one that we love, that really can be very, very helpful in terms of our own growth. So relationships, they're the basis of life, they're the foundation of life, but they need some work, they need watering. The other person that we're with, they're a flower. They need watering, cultivation, nutrients, and love, and sunshine in order to grow. So do the best you can. Soulmate Power is going to help. Take care. This is Dr. Roger Goddard signing off for now, and see you again soon. Goodbye.